Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. Today we are diving into the world of romance novels.
Oh, intriguing.
Yeah, so we're going to be taking a look at a Chinese romance novel, actually.
Okay.
It's called Angie Fee.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
in English, The Promise by the Sea.
Oh, okay. I like that title.
Yeah, and it takes place in a charming seaside town, and it's a really captivating story about love and loss and rediscovery.
It sounds right up my alley.
Yeah.
I love a good love story, and especially with a beautiful setting.
Yeah. And what's really interesting about this novel is it has some really intriguing elements. So we've got a talented painter who tragically loses her sight.
Oh, wow.
And then we have a stoic lighthouse keeper who's harboring a secret past.
Okay, I'm already hooked.
Yeah. So are you ready to kind of jump in and explore the story a little bit?
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
Okay, so let's talk about our main characters first. So we have Emma.
Okay.
She's the painter,
Mhm.
and she's incredibly gifted, but then she experiences this horrible tragedy and loses her sight. Oh, that's awful. I can't imagine.
And, it really makes you think, like, has there ever been a moment in your life where something happened and just totally shifted your perspective, like your whole worldview?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think everyone has those moments that completely change the way you see things.
Exactly. And so that's kind of what Emma is going through here. And through all of this, she meets Jack,
Okay.
who is the lighthouse keeper. And he's also struggling with a past tragedy. So,
I wonder if their pasts are connected somehow.
well, that's a really good question. And we'll definitely dive into that a bit later.
Okay, good.
But first, I think it's fascinating how their connection develops.
Yeah, tell me more about that.
So, Emma, because she's lost her sight, she has to learn to experience the world in a whole new way.
Right.
And Jack actually helps her with that.
Oh, so?
Well, he teaches her to really use her other senses, like touch and sound and smell, just to really appreciate the world around her in a different way.
That's beautiful, actually, using the seaside setting to her advantage.
Exactly. And then on the flip side, Emma helps Jack to kind of rediscover his own passion for life.
That's so sweet. So they're both helping each other heal in a way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's really this beautiful kind of symbiotic relationship.
I love that, and it shows that even in darkness, you can still find light.
Yes, exactly.
Literally and figuratively.
Okay, so now here's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Emma's sight miraculously returns.
Wow, that's amazing.
Right. But then she starts to notice this, like, sadness in Jack's eyes.
Oh, that's interesting. He should be happy for her, right?
You would think so. And he is to a certain extent, but there's definitely something holding him back.
I wonder what it could be.
Well, this is where we start to delve a little deeper into Jack's character and his past.
Okay, let's hear it.
So it turns out that Jack's wife, Anna, tragically died in a shipwreck.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and he blames himself. He feels like he should have been able to protect her.
Oh, that's so sad, and it explains why he's so guarded.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And remember the lighthouse.
Yeah.
So for Jack, it's not just a job. It's this constant reminder of his loss and his guilt.
That makes sense. It's like a symbol of his failure to save her.
Right. And so he's kind of trapped in this cycle of grief.
Yeah.
And he's afraid to let anyone else in.
I can see why he would push Emma away even though he cares for her.
And then it gets even more intense because Emma stumbles upon Jack's old diary.
Oh no, what's in it?
It's filled with all these entries about Anna's death and his feelings of guilt, and it's just heartbreaking to read. It's so raw and honest.
It must be hard for Emma to read that, knowing the man she loves is carrying so much pain.
Oh, absolutely. And this discovery leads to a really pivotal moment in their relationship. Jack finally confesses everything to Emma.
Wow, he opens up to her.
He does, and he talks about his fear of vulnerability and how his past is holding him back, and it's a really powerful moment.
So what does Emma do?
Well, instead of running away, she makes this incredibly powerful declaration of love and acceptance.
Wow, that's amazing.
She tells Jack that she wants to face the future with him, and that she accepts his past as part of who he is.
That's true love right there, accepting someone for all they are, even the broken parts.
Exactly, and this scene is just so beautifully written. It really shows the depth of their connection.
It sounds really moving.
Oh, it is, and it's interesting because as all of this is happening, a massive storm hits the town.
Oh no, a storm on top of everything else.
I know, right? And this is where the symbolism of the lighthouse really comes into play.
Okay, I'm curious how.
Well, the storm is like a physical manifestation of all the turmoil that's going on in their relationship.
Right, so the storm is mirroring their inner struggles.
Exactly, and the lighthouse, which is supposed to be this symbol of hope, is is now threatened by the storm.
Oh, wow. That's really powerful imagery.
Yeah, and during the storm, the lighthouse is actually damaged, and Jack is injured trying to protect Emma.
Okay.
He eventually recovers, but it's a really scary moment, and in the midst of all this chaos, Emma finds her artistic voice again.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. I bet she was inspired by Jack's bravery.
She was, and she paints this incredible picture of him battling the storm, and she calls it Guardian Light.
Guardian Light, that's a perfect title.
Yeah, and it's really a beautiful act of reciprocity because, Emma was once blind, and now she's giving Jack this new way to see.
Right, she's showing him the beauty and power of the storm through her art.
And the novel ends with a very poignant scene. Jack realizes just how deep Emma's love and acceptance really are, and he proposes to her by the sea.
Oh, that's so romantic.
It is, and he promises to stand strong alongside her, just like the lighthouse, always protecting her.
And that's the promise by the sea.
It is, and it's such a powerful ending because it shows that even after all the hardship and the pain they've been through, they've chosen to build a future together based on love and trust.
Yeah, it's a beautiful message about the enduring power of love.
And I think it makes you really think about the lighthouses in your own life. What are those guiding forces that help you navigate through the storms and uncertainties?
That's such a good question. I think we all have those things, whether it's a person or a belief or a passion, something that helps us stay grounded when things get tough.
Absolutely. And if you're looking for a story that will really stay with you long after you finish reading it, I highly recommend The Promise by the Sea.
Yeah, it sounds like a beautifully written and emotionally resonant story.
It is. The author's descriptions of the seaside setting are just breathtaking, and the characters are so real and relatable. You really feel like you're right there with them, experiencing everything firsthand.
It sounds like the perfect escape.
It really is.
Well, thank you for bringing this book to our attention today. It's definitely going on my reading list.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear it. And thanks to all our listeners for joining us on another deep dive. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.